and here we are. So I think the first thing I have to say to everyone is happy Thanksgiving. Of course, you know that I have my spirit guide Gradle, who is to my right side. We don't even know if anybody's watching today, or are you traveling, or are you in the kitchen prepping? I know I'm in the kitchen prepping. And anyway, so it's not going to be a long show. I've got things to do, people. I've got to rub my ribs. I keep saying that. It makes me laugh so hard. Anyway, so before we go any further, I'd like to say, obviously, good morning to Chris, who has given up a short time of her Thanksgiving Day to be with us today. And I would also like to say thank you, Bernie. You think I've been drinking, don't you? Now, it is Thanksgiving Day, and it's so true that we, on these special occasions, we do like to have a little tipple here and there. I think, you know what I'm thinking? That just reminds me. I think I should get the sherry out this morning. That's what I think. I'm going to be rubbing ribs. And if I'm rubbing ribs, I've got to have a little sustenance. I'm going to get some sherry going. And if you saw the size of these ribs, they are like huge, long beef back ribs. They're so good. Anyway, but beside the point, Chris.
Yes.
Is there anybody there?
We do have 2 people writing in the chat room.
Oh, that's so nice. Maybe we'll just do it for the 2 people. Who are they?
Well, Rhonda's in.
Hi, Rhonda.
She's saying thank you to both you and Gray Eagle for always being here for all of us and blessing us with your wisdom. And Caroline is saying happy Thanksgiving from Canada. We know they had their Thanksgiving, about a month ago, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Rhonda is mentioning, she says, wishing you all a day full of thankfulness and a day of prayer for those families of the 2 National Guardsmen whose lives were taken.
Yes. We would like to, maybe, even if there are only 3 or 4 of us on this show today, we would like to dedicate this show and to, I mean, I don't know. The violence in the world today is unbelievable. However, today, and even for those who have lost someone close to them, today is a day of loving and of being thankful. I've had a few days spent. I've been very fortunate. I was honoured to talk to families of young men in the military who actually either died overseas, or they've many of them were so traumatized and had such difficult times. And so I've been talking to a lot of suicide victims. To mention suicide very briefly, there are still those churches that refuse to bury someone who takes their own life because they think it's a sin against God, and honestly and truthfully, people should really come on into is it the 20th century or the 21st century? And I never could figure it out. But anyway, they need to get with the program here, because research tells us, and my knowing and dealing with people who, over the years, tells me certainly, taking your own life is not a sin against God. It's often a sin against this world, because we see so much violence, we see so much difficulty, we so much availability of drugs that cause us issues, sometimes prescribed by the medical profession, which cause issues. We see so many, so many reasons why people struggle with their lives, and often very often, and I could be on this subject forever, but one story sort of comes to mind when a man actually very carefully, he was paralyzed from the waist down, and he decided his wife had had enough, and he couldn't take seeing her running around after him, hauling him out of bed, trying to get him this, trying to get him that, so on and so forth. He had a very tiny tumor, the size of a pea, but it was right in the middle of his spine, and they couldn't extract it, which meant that he was paralyzed. He was a big guy, and he actually planned the ending of his life very carefully, because he couldn't bear to see his wife give up her life for his. There are so many sad stories. Our hearts go out to the families of these, young National Guardsmen. Our families go out to all of those families who have men and women who are working to keep us safe. And they should not be targeted. Sometimes I think, in England in the whatever century it was, they used to hang, draw and quarter the criminals, and I know it sounds awful, but they literally used to quarter them up the middle and then across, and pull out their intestines and all their organs. And we're getting gruesome now, but sometimes you really want, often the penalty for people does not fit the crime. And there are so many people who are willing to be lenient with criminals, with murderers, with all of those people who are violent. I really wish that the justice system would also catch up to everything else. And I'm sure there's lots of political things that go on. People say, we don't have the money, or other people say, no, that's not the way to do it, and so on. But anyway, enough of all of that. Enough of, this. Let's think about all of the families who are getting together today. Not just families, because my family's in England, so not just families, my friends who are coming here, and this is why I've got to get on with the rubbing of the ribs, because they take hours to cook. So I better get on and do all of that. But let's just take a moment of prayer if we can. If you join with me, because I would like to, at this moment in time, remember all of those lost souls for whatever reason and however they passed, who are not with us in a physical sense today, but are with us spiritually, very, very much so. So if you could join with me, dear God, I reach out to that higher power, that higher force. I reach out and ask that those who are missing a loved one, those who are on their own right now, or even those in a crowd but are feeling on their own right now because you're missing a loved one, dear God, please let us send healing to them. Let us join with that God force, that universal God force, and send healing to all of those families and all of those people who might need it. Okay, let's. Is there anybody there? Anybody else, or would you just have the two? That's fine. I don't mind.
No, we had more people log on. Not a whole lot of comments in there, but Caroline did say, my son committed suicide, and I had the hardest time trying to get a priest to bless him. Eventually, I just got a minister to give him the blessing. It's sad the Catholic Church is like this.
I have heard, Carolyn, that there are certain. It's not just the Catholic Church. There are lots of religions that believe this stupid thing. Of course, it's not a sin against God. Of course, people are. Somebody. I heard somebody say the other day, suicide is selfish. So, no, people who take their own lives for because they're not even thinking. It's not that they're not thinking about us, you, or your family, or who they're going to affect. Their mind is not in the right place. They're not thinking, oh, let's do this and forget everybody else around us. That's not what happens at all. And when we look at people who and Caroline, I'm sorry, very sorry for your loss. I wish you could have been with us here this last Friday. Was it a week ago, Chris, that we did this? Last Friday, I had a small group of people who had lost their sons and daughter to very traumatic events, and we sat and we talked about these things, and they were able to express to each other. It was great because I think when you're with other people who've experienced the same or similar things that you have, I think that can be extremely helpful. And they drank me out of house and home, I can tell you. I mean, what can I say? They did bring delicious scones, and they did bring lovely cookies, and we had such a nice night, and it was so good to be able to talk to them, reassure them of in my way, with my stories and my beliefs, and to see them, even through their pain and through their heartache, to see them laughing and enjoying themselves. Carolyn, I wish you could have been here. And we are going to do more of that. We're going to do it so that the people can. Yes, I do invite people to my house from time to time, but it's also good that we could even invite people online to join in with us. Maybe Carolyn, you might be one of those people who'd like to do that at some point with us, and we'd love to have you. So consider me giving you an invitation to my home, even though it might be through FaceTime or Skype or whatever other medium you use. Okay, Chris.
Man of all seasons has written a few things in there. Number one, saying happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
That they're going to get their Christmas tree tomorrow from a tree farm, and a big snow day is coming for Saturday.
Oh, wow.
But they want to know.
Not where I am. Just saying.
They want to know if their loved ones surround me when I give them all a toast just before supper with some brandy or wine.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Let me put it this way. I always say we've got spirits with our spirits. But even if you don't drink, our loved ones in the spirit world are around us, not just on Thanksgiving, not that, but it's definitely on those special occasions, definitely when we need them, definitely when we're thinking about them at odd times during the day. I'm sometimes walking around, and I'll sort of come out of one room and go into another room and bump into my dad, who's just come to say hi to me. Or I know that it's possible for our loved ones to be with us, sharing with us, and I think it's always great if you could think in the mornings, just say good morning to them and hi to them. That would be that, they'd love that. So please, when you're having your toast and enjoying your, did you say brandy? My kind of person. I like a good one personally. But anyway, I'll drink anything, and I'm feeding my Christmas cake this year with brandy. So that's also good. I need to do that today. That's another thing I need to do today. Jeez, maybe I'll leave it until tomorrow when I have more time. Anyway, yes, whether you toast them or whether you don't, they are often with you and draw close to you. Thank you for asking that question. It's important.
Let's see. Maggie's saying happy Thanksgiving, and she's with her horse right now.
Good. Hi, Maggie. Happy Thanksgiving to you too.
Albertine says hello, Rosemary and Gray Eagle. Have a good day. And
Hi.
is there a message from my grandmother Willie? Thank you.
No, we're not. We're. This is Thanksgiving for me. I've got work to do, people. But I'm sure that Willie's around. So so just I'm afraid you're going to have to be content with that right now. But happy Thanksgiving to you too. Okay, Chris.
Let's see. Judith says, I'm heading to my brother's house and family for Thanksgiving. Excited. Happy Thanksgiving, all. And thank you,
Oh,
Rosemary. Happy Thanksgiving.
well, I'm going to give you my menu. Then some of you can actually give me your menu. My menu is not, I'm sorry, I'm British. I don't really celebrate Thanksgiving. But it turns out, I didn't realize this when I was saying, to somebody, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, why don't you come and have a drink? Yeah. And I didn't realize that there are, I think, 3 birthdays we're going to be celebrating. So who knew? Anyway, but here is my menu for the day, if I can get around to getting it ready and getting it done. So we're going to be having some really, really great, they're called long back. I think this is what they call them, long back beef ribs. And they're not like the usual, small ribs that we get, which are delicious. These are like this big, probably. Lots of meat on them, and there's a very special way that I like. I cook them in layers of foil and parchment, and seal them up in a parcel. Anyway, and I sprinkle olive oil all over them, and I rub in seasonings, and then I sit them in the oven for about 4 hours on low, and then I make a sauce. You know me. You all know me and my cooking. It would be so easy. I did look at the barbecue sauce yesterday when I went to the store. I looked at the barbecue sauce, and then I thought, no, I'm not going to. I'm going to make my own stuff. So I can, sort of. I've got to get on with doing that. So much to do. Anyway, and with that, I'm making a delicious Moroccan rice. The reason I've chosen Moroccan rice is because you can throw it all in. Well, you have to cook it first at different stages and do different things and so on. But at the end of the day, it's just in one big, I use an electric oven, and I just throw it all in there, and it is so good. It is so good. I don't make it too spicy because a lot of people don't like too spicy, and I don't care for too spicy, but it's really, really delicious rice dish. You can have the recipe anytime you like, you can whatever. All you have to do is, well, I'm not sure if it's in the cookbook, but I'm going to say you could buy the cookbook and get the recipe from there. And then what else am I doing? Oh, yes. Oh, I'm making brie wrapped in puff pastry. I'm going to slap some of my homemade marmalade inside, and then wrap it all in puff pastry and bake that in the oven. And I made some liver pate, which I'm going to be bringing out. I know some of you turning your nose up. These are the little appetizer things, the little hors d'oeuvre things, and some cheese, some nice cheese. And then what else we're doing? Oh, of course, let's not forget the desserts. You all know that I made the pastry, the choux pastry for my chocolate eclairs. So we're having chocolate eclairs for the dessert, but I'm also making a huge pavlova. What is a pavlova, you might say? It's like a big, giant bird's nest of meringue, which is scooped out in the middle, and it looks like a big bird's nest. And then I fill it with Well, this time I'm filling it with cream and strawberries, and I might, if I get around to it, if I think about it, I might just drizzle some chocolate over the top. So that's going to be, see how much I've got to do today? You see? Anyway, so we're going to have a delicious meal. I hope you're all going to have a delicious meal. Is anybody making anything special is what I want to know.
Well, Maggie says she's going to the daughter and son-in-law's, or actually, my daughter and son-in-law are having a turducken.
Okay.
Turkey with a duck and a chicken inside.
Yeah, I've actually seen that, and I've wondered about it. I've never actually had it. But my duck, I like to have duck all by itself. I don't like to mess about with my duck. But maybe it's really good. Let us know. Wow, let us know how it turns out.
Maria says, amen to your prayers. And then Maggie says, I think I saw my daughter in a cloud the other week.
Yes, I think you did too.
Let's see. Judith says, yum. Rosemary, you're making me very hungry. And Albertine says, thank you, Rosemary. Love from me.
Okay, so are we done with that now?
I don't have any more questions.
Can I actually get on with my cooking then? We just really wanted to do a very short Thanksgiving to wish everyone a wonderful, wonderful day. We hope you have good company. I know that there are many people on their own this holiday time. Try and remember that you are never on your own, that your loved ones in the spirit world are always close by. And, so you're not, even though you might be physically on your own, spiritually, you're wrapped in warmth and love and tenderness. Gregor wishes you all a very happy Thanksgiving. And I think, Chris, I think that's it. So,
okay.
I've just got to get in the kitchen. I've got to get on. Anyway, thanks for joining us, everybody, and we shall definitely be back next Thursday. You can tell me all about what food you actually had, who you were with on Thanksgiving, and maybe tell me the best part of your Thanksgiving, because I'd love to hear those stories. So until I see you all again. I don't think there's anything else coming up between now and next Thursday. So remember that we do have Grey Eagle Speaks on the 13th of December. And happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Please, when you are with your families, remember those who are on their own. Remember those who are grieving. Remember, please, that our loved ones in the spirit world are always close by us. Even those who maybe only just passed, they're always by us. They're always close by us, and we are never, ever on our own. So I'll see you next week, everyone. For now, again, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving from Grey Eagle.